what I do.
Listen.
Higher way. In 1851, Robert Smith made a crucial mistake for his purposes. He traveled to California, where slavery was illegal. Biddy Mason went to court and earned her freedom in...
Biddy Mason said, oh, you going to take me to California? She sued for her own freedom after walking 1,700 miles and tending cows and cleaning up. Ain't that something?
1856.
In 1856. Look how astute she was. These are your ancestors. You need to be proud of that. This is a rich black woman. Okay? We've been the same people we are right now. All the stuff y'all do right now, we've been doing it. I've heard the stories. Fighting, cussing, all that same stuff. We've been doing it. The same. Look, read my books. If you're not read my books, read that book where I talk about my family from Mississippi. Same thing, all this, they call it ghetto, whatever you want to. Yes, we've been doing it, but we still succeed. That's part of the culture too. I know you don't want to hear that, but we oftentimes glorify the past, but we've been the same people. But we always know when to come together when it's time. And it's time right now. That's why we got to cut out all this beefing back and forth. Look, man, look, you're entitled to your opinions and you can say what you want to say about the opposite sex at any given time. You're entitled to that. But at this point, that's not what we need to do right now. Right now is not that time. Right now, we need to be resting because we'll be back up. We'll be back up to the plate again. White America's never going to leave us alone, okay? And we are never going to sell out. We're never going to fully integrate. So, we're not going to conform. So we'll be back up again, all right?
And set out to make a life for herself. And that she did with such an impact. In 1866, after saving up her wages for 10 years, she bought land. This is 1866. It was nearly 100 years before black people could buy land in certain parts of this country.
But not in all parts of this country, because I want you to understand, we still own in New York, Detroit, all those enclaves, it was white folk up there. Like, man, black folk were involved in the schools. We had our own high schools, all this sort of stuff, all neighborhoods. We actually had integrated in some of those communities in the Midwest. So keep that. I want y'all to understand that.
And here was Biddy Mason in Los Angeles, living free and being an entrepreneur. By 1872, she was already a community leader, and she organized the LA First African Methodist Episcopal Church.
Church all 100 years old.
Otherwise known as First AME. That's right. Yeah. That came from Biddy Mason. All the while, Biddy Mason went back to her roots and she nursed the sick, comforted prisoners, and pays a grocery to feed the families that were made homeless by...
On 4th and Spring Street. That's in the heart of... I just want you to understand who you are. I need y'all to understand. You have earned the rest. You have saved America over and over and over again. We've been doing this a long time. Let somebody else up. It's their turn. We've done it. These are what your people been doing.
The floods in Los Angeles. I mean, we're talking somebody with not just a symbolic, but significant importance on Los Angeles that is almost forgotten about.
It's almost forgotten because y'all don't want to remember it. That's why it's almost forgotten, sir. That's why it's almost forgotten. But keep going.
All the while, Biddy Mason kept saving her money and amassing more and more property, becoming an entrepreneur and one of the prominent landowners in Los Angeles, including selling land to other black people who couldn't buy land due to redlining at the time in Los Angeles. I'm talking a real pioneer. So Biddy Mason.
That's her. That's us. I want you to understand that. Embrace yourselves. Embrace your beautiful selves. You're a beautiful, wonderful, outstanding, amazing group of people. There is no other group of people like us, and we need to embrace that. I want y'all to, especially you sisters, embrace it.
It has this park and memorial here.
Look how well she's dressed. Look at that.
Here in downtown Los Angeles, but truth be told, she deserves a lot more. She's one of the most important people in the history of the city, and she needs to be celebrated. All right, LA, it's been a minute.
Praise God. Yeah, she does need to be celebrated, but y'all done got rid of the Black history. Y'all don't want us to talk about it. So, we'll remain silent. Yeah, I like this video.
Why? Because, like, my daddy.
I'm going to get back to the lesson in a minute, but I wanted to drive home the point that things are changing now. Okay? I'm talking to everybody on the internet who's listening. Y'all know me. I don't have 100,000 followers, but those of you guys who know, I drive a certain section of the internet. Everybody's listening. They may not mention it, but they're listening. They listening to Uncle D. They listening to DennisSpurling because they have to. You see? So, because I'm uniquely positioned, but nevertheless, listen, this is where we're going now. I want you to hear about this.
He's a black man. I couldn't see another man raising my kids besides.
She said they're trying to argue with this young lady because she says she wants to marry a black man. Boy, when I first saw this, I was like, look at this. This is what I'm talking about. We're starting to get our senses back to ourselves. We're starting to come back to our black selves. This is beautiful. Listen to this young lady.
Well, what if you fell in love with a white guy?
I wouldn't fall in love with a
What am I falling? Sit yourself down somewhere.
white guy.
Why?
I want my kids to have a black father just like I had a black father because it's just something about a black man that I love. So I've always dated black guys. And
that's right, baby. I don't know the name of this show, but this is what I'm talking about right here. This is good TV. I don't even watch TV anymore. You hear that? She's, I'm going to marry a black man. All of that 50-50 and I can't find a good man. Look at her. Look what she talking about.
I don't feel like someone of another race could really help my children deal with certain issues.
Someone of another race couldn't help my children deal with what they're going to have to deal with in this world that we living in. You understand me?
Issues that they would have to deal with being black in America. My daddy is black, and guess what? My kids going to have a black ass daddy too.
Look, I hear her voice cracking. That means she really mean what she said. She in it. This is what I'm talking about. When you see something like this, you know that things are changing. All you dudes on the internet, all you ladies on the internet, this is what y'all doing with all that beefing, it's out the window now. Black people have lost the taste for that. They've lost the taste for the gender war. Everybody that said what they had to say. Black women said it for 60 years. Black men been saying it for about 12 to 15 years. It's kind of passe. We done said everything we're going to say. We said it in public. You see what I'm saying? I mean, even my friend Kevin Samuels, he was like, man, I don't want to do this every day. Let's go up here and let's start shipping stuff around the world. That's why we end up going to New York, me and them other cats. It was about to be business. There's nobody want to do this all day. You understand what I'm saying? At some point, you got to move on. This gender war, it's got to go. Look, you're entitled to think what you want to think, say what you want to say, but damn, you ain't going to make no money on it. All that's going to happen is, and I'm just talking to the people on YouTube, you just about to drive your viewership down because folk don't want to talk about that anymore. We're in a different time period now. Yeah, there's always going to be conversations, but it's not going to be the conversation at the forefront of the black community. We're off the relationship stuff. Now we're talking about politics. We're talking about the environment, the racial environment that we living in. We need to navigate this. And so we need more sisters to fight for their brother. This is going to
warm up. Bitch, don't play with me.
Look at that. She's going to have a lot of offers. You want a black man? Make it publicly known that's what you're looking for, and you fighting like that for a black man. They'll come running to you. All they want is for their women to love them like that and be, instead of I can't, what you can't do, this is what I want. She's going to be all right. I don't know who that young lady is, but she's going to have plenty of opportunities to get her.
If you want your kids to have a white daddy, if you want your youth to stop yelling, if you want your blood to stay pure, bitch, that's your prerogative. So don't try to make me feel.
Look at that. Oh, look at it. Look. If you don't sit your Becky self down.
I don't want to marry a black man, bitch. I'm black. What the you?
She's going off about wanting to have a black man. That is a beautiful thing. I don't know who that is. I'm sure y'all probably know who the show is. But anyway, look. We're talking about black folks arresting. We're not here to save anybody. Okay? And as I said earlier before I took that little Black History break, I know you learned something. I know y'all learned something. You know what you're supposed to do if you learn something. But before I took that little Black History break, I got to sneak it in. As I said before, marginalized groups, unless they unite against racism and tribalism and white supremacy, the consequences are severe. And when Black Americans left Okay, we've left the fight alone, right? When we had to face mass incarceration and economic exploitation and systematic neglect, we fought it and we suffered tremendously. We came through it, but we suffered. Okay? What does that say about us that we came through it? Because compare that to what happened to the Native Americans or indigenous people when they were left to fend for themselves. They're nearly erased from history. You don't see anything from them. We got black women with parks and things and churches dedicated to them right now. Shout out to Grandma Biddy. We're still here. Now, you got these Latinos and Indians from India, these other brown people, they're facing the full force of white nationalism. And I don't think they're tough enough to deal with it. Not like us. Not walk 1,700 miles and herd cattle and cook and clean and then sue your owner when you get to California tough and then become a millionaire. They ain't built like that. They not like us. And see, the thing is, the reason they keep trying to call us up off the bench, or for you ladies, they keep trying to call you up out that bathtub with the little rocks in it and you got your wine and your incense and your chakras are getting aligned. They trying to get you out of your bathtub. Okay, they get you to dry off and put your work boots on and get back out there on the front line. And y'all like, no, we're not doing that. We're resting.
What's up? Welcome to the broadcast. This is Uncle D.
People wash their ass in the tub, Kamala Harris.
You would tune in to Uncle D. This black man talk, pull up, homie, take a seat. Don't be a shadow watcher every day. You learn something, then you earn something. Let them know and drop some money in the plate. It's getting cold, ladies, talking ratchet. Lizard King here, grab your coat, zip your jacket. Keep quiet for a second, close your jaw. Attorney Spurling, this ain't pearly, know the law. Talking Constitution, pushing pins when he shooting, give him that. Masculinity, just for the record, sprinkle that. You can keep your cat, gotta cut it. Only cat he rubbing, gotta love it. I call it Molly Buddy. Gotta vote your interest, voting earns. Presidential, this is for the money that I earn. When you gon' learn, my people, that evil mixed with evil. No matter what you're doing, baby, this ain't equal. Sometimes when you're special, you get hated. The test is for the best, you're damn right, my people made it. Uncle D, Blizzard King, you been served, gotta notice. Now black men out here know we winning, gotta hold it now. Uncle D, you been served, get your notice now. Black men out here know we winning, gotta hold it now. Uncle D, you been served, get your notice now. Black men out here know we winning, gotta hold it now. Uncle D, you been served, get your notice now. Black men out here know we winning, gotta hold it now.
Hey man, I'll do what I do.
Somebody need to whip your ass.
Get up and whip him, Sweets.
Hey, don't be putting the money in my hand all rough.
Take your ass out here. You buy you a Flowbee and cut your own damn hair from now on.